Government leaders in KwaZulu-Natal and its top police brass are to meet with communities from in and around the area of Jozini this morning. This follows 2 days of protests that have brought the rural town to a standstill. Residents went on the rampage demanding government deal with the worsening crime situation. For the latest, we now cross live to our colleague Ayanda Mhlongo. Manjamane, very good morning to you. Ayanda, what's the latest where you are?
A very good morning to Desiree and good morning to our viewers. Well, you can possibly see behind us, there's the streets here in the main road leading huge stones and barricades, and we've basically, since we've been here yesterday, have somewhat been isolated just to this particular area because it has been very difficult for us or anyone that has been trying to come through here to the town or pass through the town to make their way through. And because of the violence and some of the protesters throwing stones and any passing vehicle, only allowing police officers to go through the road. So we've pretty much only been moving around, and this was just the Jozini police station where yesterday we were locked inside. Scores of community members protested outside demanding that they meet with the Minister of Police, Begekele, to put to him their grievances because of the worsening crime situation. Residents here at Desiree are saying that for years they've been dealing with a very dangerous gangs and syndicates that are mostly targeting 4x4 vehicles, which are then smuggled across the Mozambique border. But more recently, they're saying that these gangs are becoming more violent. There are now allegations of they coming in and allegedly raping women and children, and also beating up and assaulting their victims, forcing their victims to banks to draw out large sums of money. And the community here is saying that they've been raising these concerns for years now, and nothing seems to have been done. But also, more recently, they're saying that they have information which now clearly for them points to police at this police station that are said to be working with these criminals. We know that there was a vehicle, we were told, and this was confirmed by the mayor of Jozini, Delani Mabiga, when we spoke to him yesterday, that one of the stolen vehicles was found in a garage belonging to one of the local traffic police officers in the municipality. And as the municipality said, they have then passed on that information, and that is currently being investigated by the police. And internally, as the municipality, they are also going to be looking into their officials that are also being implicated as working with these crime syndicates. And so the community really now they're saying that for them, they feel betrayed by the police, because whenever they came and reported these cases to the police, and now they realize that the reason why there's not been much progress is because they now believe that there are police officers that are working with these gangs. And one of the demands that they have for the Minister of Police is that he remove these officers, which they said they have their names, and they're going to pass them forward to the Minister when they meet with them. This morning at Desiree, we are waiting the MEC for Transport and Community Safety, Begintuli, has confirmed to us, and we understand that he is on his way with his delegation, as well as the KwaZulu-Natal Police top brass, to meet with the community leaders and the officials here at the police station and the municipality. They will later then be addressing this community. Of course, Desiree, one is going to have to wait and see whether or not they're going to receive Mr. Ntuli. What they have said to us is that they are now tired of speaking to the local municipality and the local police, as well as the provincial leaders in KwaZulu-Natal. They now want the Minister of Police, and until he comes to the area and meets with them, they are going to continue shutting with their protest and shut down this community, or this area rather. Desiree, this strike has really impacted this area. Schools have been closed now. It's the third day today. Businesses have been shut down. In fact, for us as well, having been in this area, have been unable to even go to a shop because the garages are closed. There's no transport, or businesses are closed, and so that has impacted impacting quite negatively on the business. And you'd know that this is, of course, is a rural town, and the little businesses survive on the people who are passing through here, the tourists that are coming through here, and so they have been affected. In a nearby lodge where we were staying, there have been people there who have been forced to stay in the lodge, and they've not been able to leave since this violence started. And so this has really affected a number of people. But as you see there, we just saw some of the community leaders arriving as they're now going to prepare. The community were told to start gathering from around 9:30 this morning. The MEC is going to be meeting with the community leaders first. Thereafter, they're going to go to a sports ground not far from where we are, which he will there address the community. Desiree.
Ayanda, from what you're saying, it seems that the community has really, truly been suffering. And it's important, it's significant that community members have taken up this responsibility of highlighting the problems that they're experiencing in Jozini in terms of the crime situation. But what are the protest leaders saying about the damaging infrastructure and property in an irresponsible way?
Community leaders, since yesterday, they have been trying to calm the community down, to say, while they understand, of course, that their frustrations, that they should not. And I must say that aside from the shops that we hear, few shops that were vandalized in the street, there has not been any major damage to infrastructure, be it schools, be it clinic, be it the municipal offices, etc. What has largely been, we've seen, is these barricades on the road, and of course, out of fear, many of the businesses, or all of the businesses, in fact, having to close their doors. But Desiree, on the one hand, the community leaders are saying that they have tried, and it's been years now that they have been dealing and meeting with the authorities. In fact, with ourselves at the SABC, we have been visiting this area countless times over the years. Several ministers have visited this area, and you'll know, Desiree, that this issue of these cross-border crimes starts here mainly in the area of Jozini, but goes as far as the Mkhanyakude district, right up to the Mozambique border with KwaZulu-Natal, and that is in the area of Mangus. You remember that even the issue even caught the attention of former President Jacob Zuma when he was still in office, and he visited the area with Defence Minister at the time and the security clusters. And so there's been many engagements with national leaders, but the community are saying that the problem is still continuing, and in fact for them now it's getting even worse. Maybe, Desiree, let me also just paint a little bit of picture for people to understand what these 4x4 vehicles mean to this community. This is a very rural community, and a large number of people here are farmers, and so they rely on these 4x4 to transport their crops, to sell them to the local community, and also to take these crops to other areas. Others transport goods, and so there are no businesses, and so they rely on these 4x4. So taking away that vehicle from a local community member who's using that vehicle as a means of survival means cutting off whatever means that they have. And so this is what the community have been trying to stress, to say there are no jobs. We do understand the economic situation that the country is under, and so we are trying as small-scale farmers, we are trying as little businesses to start our own businesses, so we aren't reliant on the government. And these crime syndicates are taking this little means that we have to feed our families and the community. And so that is why, Desiree, they are saying that this situation is affecting their lives in this way.
It must be really embarrassing for the South African Police Service that the community is highlighting a problem that they seemingly are not willing to solve.
Certainly, Desiree, as I said, there's been several ministers in the past, ministers of police, who visited this police station and, also met with the community. And the community leaders will tell you, Desiree, that they have evidence. It's not hearsay, it's not rumors. They have the actual evidence that they have, which they're willing to share. They have the information of these police, and they're only asking that the police investigate these officials that are being accused of being involved in this with these syndicates. I mean, now the mayor himself admitting to the fact that a stolen vehicle was found in the garage of one of the traffic officers under the municipality. And so again, the mayor saying we do have the proof with us, but it now is in the hands of the police. One of the things the community is also saying that these police officers have been working at the station for quite some time, and they have been raising issues, naming and shaming these police officers, but they've continued to work. And also those that have been whistleblowers that have come forward, as the police always request that people come through and make their statements, that they've been doing that. Instead, they have become also victims of people coming in later, assaulting them allegedly because they've come forward and they've reported it to the police. So certainly, Des, I think it's now time for the police, looking at what the community is saying, to seriously look into this community's concerns, particularly for the fact that they are saying we have the evidence which we want to hand over to the police. We are willing to work with the police. And in fact, Desiree, even admitting that they know that these syndicates are working with communities, that these gangs are within the community. They know them, and as a community, they're willing to hand them over to the police. We also know that what led, in fact, Desiree, to this car being found is that there's now some sort of a crime group called Escalating, that is working now with the community, and they're going out and getting information and trying to track for themselves their own community members that are involved in these syndicates, to try and meet the police and the authorities halfway. So they're saying they are doing their bit. It's now time for the police to also show that they care for the lives of the people of this area.
Clearly urgent interventions needed in Jozini. Take us through again what's going to happen today.
This morning, Desiree, the MEC for Community Safety and Liaison, Begintul, he is on his way. We have been told he's going to be meeting with the community leaders. We've just seen some of them pass. If you see that tree behind us, that's where they are. And now they've gathered, awaiting the MEC. He's going to meet with them first, as well as the municipal officials here and the mayor, Delani Mabiga. Afterwards, they are then going to be meeting with the community, and the community are then going to be handing over their list of demands. But as I said, Desiree, the community here have said they want the Minister of Police, Begicele. So we'll wait to see whether or not they will listen to the MEC, whether they will receive the MEC once he arrives here. But of course, we are on the ground, Desiree, and we're going to be following this story very closely throughout the day.
Thank you so much for that update, Ayanda.